All right, so here we are looking at these additional toes. So flash readings for these toes. When I'm looking at these toes to begin with, there's a couple of things that really stand out. And the first thing is the trajectory of this life path toe and the spirit path toe. So you can see that there is definitely a looking to the future. So the question is, what are you looking for in the future? What is keeping you from being present? And sometimes looking to the future is really because the past has not been that great. And so you're looking to the future thinking that it's going to get better because that's a habit or a pattern that you have established for yourself. So my invitation is to stop and get present. And one of the ways that you can do this is to work with the toes. So with this particular trajectory, you haven't always been looking to the future because you don't have, bunions or things like that. You can see that it really starts here at this first knuckle. So this is something that has happened in your adult life, in this second half of your life. So taking your finger and putting it here, and then gently taking the other fingers and moving out this way. So sliding up and moving this way, because what we're trying to do is invite the energy to track in a more straight way instead of leaning this way. And while you're doing that, employ some affirmations. I am present now. Where I am now is exactly perfect for my soul evolution. I choose to be present now. My future is made up of my now choices, so I choose to be present now. Those would be some good things to say. Now, here's what's going to happen when this toe starts tracking more straightly is your life path is going to get on track and your leadership is going to open up. You're really going to step into who you are as a leader. Because you are definitely a leader. I can see that because you are okay standing on your own. You have the potential for a nice leadership gap that's actually just the perfect size for the leadership gap. Same thing with the spirit path toe here. There's something that happened around the same time that kind of threw your spirit path off just a little bit, looking to the future. So getting present now. You can do a lot of the same things that I just said with this toe. Additionally, you've got some peeling going on, more so than on this toe. So some peeling going on. So there's these layers to this spirit path and some things that aren't quite connected. So rubbing the toenail as you're doing this exercise of holding right here while inviting the energy to track more straight is going to help you peel back the layers around your spiritual path and around your spiritual journey. So that can be really, really powerful for you in doing this and discovering your gifts. Because again, once you do this, you're going to open up this channel of intuition and your intuitive gifts are just going to skyrocket. You really have a lot of intuition as a gift, and it's going to become even greater. Your gifts are going to increase as you open this up a little bit more. All right, just a couple of other things on this flash reading. It is extremely important that you express and that you take action on that expression. So what does this mean? Look at the ways that you are communicating and expressing. There's so many different ways that you can do that. Verbally, through art, through your style, through your work and what you're doing within your work. So just consider, how do you want to express? How does that align with you? And then make sure you express. And it is vital that you take action. You can see that your action toes are almost as long as your communication expression toes. Now, again, there is something that happened at about halfway through your life at this point. Because you've got blocked energy in these knuckles here. So I invite you to rub those knuckles and start to release that energy. Sometimes the energy, we need to know what it is. So exploring what is it that's showing up here. And sometimes it just needs to be seen, and sometimes it just needs to be released. It's just trapped in there. Making sure that you're following through on your commitments. You can see the pointing down here of this toe. This means that sometimes you don't follow through. So making sure that you're taking that action and following through, and also making sure that you're not putting yourself last. There's a fine balance between being self-centered and being self-caring. Where is that for you? Make sure that you're not engaged in people-pleasing activities. All right, that's it for the first set of toes. Let's look at these toes. These toes just make me happy. They've got those smiley faces on them. It's clear that this person has been doing yoga, a lot of spacing between these toes. And so groundedness is very important to you. So staying grounded, making sure that you're in contact with the earth, working with the earth, that grounded energy is really, really important for you. Now, something that's interesting is you've got something that happened here on this toe. So let's talk about what that means. So you've got some callousing going on. I can't see it super well just because of this photo, but some callousing that's going on here, and just like a broken toenail here. So this is your spirit path toe. So the invitation is, let's explore what's going on in that spirit path. Perhaps there's some resentment, some questioning, some not showing up exactly the way that you want to. So looking at what's going on in your spirit path, it was temporary, and we just want to address it so that then you can move forward in it. I actually had something like this happening with my spirit path toe. And so through rubbing it, through asking it questions, I was able to discover, and you can too, and especially right here where it looks like there's some callousing and some chafing going on. So addressing that spirit path toe. And then I would also invite you, the pad of this toe is like you're leaning more on the outside instead of having it centered. And so taking your fingers and just kind of pushing this fleshy part of your toe a little bit more under, so there's more of your great toe, your spirit toe, that is grounded. And by doing that, you're going to open up your intuition here. And that's going to be a really beautiful thing. I know that would be meaningful for you. All right. Taking action and communication is very, very important for you. And just being direct in your communication, I think that that's a really important thing. Taking this direct approach in your communication, and then taking action on what you say. You are one of those people that has the ability to have a little bit more wiggle room in your walk and your talk. And I would encourage you to make sure that your walk and your talk are aligned, and being that directness in your speech. One thing that I'm noticing that I didn't notice before, because I've read these toes before, and that is some blocked energy going on here in your action toe and in your relationship toe. So just explore, what are you doing in your life that supports you? What actions are you taking? Are you following through on your commitments to yourself? And this is affecting your relationship with yourself. So starting to just pick apart a little bit around what is causing a little bit of conflict in your relationship with yourself. And I feel like if you just gently massage this toe a little bit, that is going to become clear for you. So once again, addressing what is the message. This is an immediate message to your spirit path toe, and inviting this fleshy part of the toe to move under, be more grounded, so that we open up this intuition, this spirit path of intuition. And then making sure that you're taking the action, releasing some actions that maybe taking action that you know you need to take, and releasing obligation energy or regret in this action toe, and then rubbing this toe right here for greater insight into what's going on with your relationship with yourself. All right, we're looking at these toes and we can see, so the first thing that I see here is this toe right here that appears to have had a little bit of some trauma to it. Okay, so this is your life path toe. There's some trauma that happened to it. You also have a bigger protrusion here than you do on this toe. And so the people pleasing behaviors. So moving out of that, I know that that is something that you've been working on, and you can actually even increase the power of the actions that you're taking to release the people pleasing activities by gently pushing in here on this part of your foot and then rubbing up this side to just ask this energy to track more straightly. Looks like you had some fungus going on in this toe. We talked about that. So the fungus is what's eating you, although it looks like it's gotten better. Like I'm not seeing so much fungus now, but I am seeing some damage here to the root and to the nail bed of the toe. So I would recommend an upward rubbing movement on that toe. And also I want to give you some of my magic skin salve. So remind me to give that to you. And so rubbing upward on this toe and getting more and more clear on your life path. I think that's going to be really awesome. And just look at what will happen when that toe starts tracking straighter. It's going to open up this channel of leadership. Now, generally speaking, your toes trend looking towards the future. And so being very present and very now is going to be actually my biggest invitation to you, because we've got this toe, this toe, this toe, and this toe. They're all leaning towards the future. You're more present in yourself. So examining in your life right now, where are you not present? I'm going to sneeze. Okay, excuse me. When I sneeze, that's an energetic release. So when I've got something like that happens, like a yawn or a sneeze or some kind of, it means it's important to do, and there's an energetic release going. So things are starting to shift already just through this presence. So what do you do here? One, get very present, spend some time out on the earth, just standing and being in the earth. And then gently rubbing up on this side, so the outside part of your toes, and just inviting them to move in a straighter direction. When we look at your prosperity and trust toes, there is some blocked energy in there. So I really invite you to just take those toes and rub them gently to release this energy. You have a fairly prominent sixth toe. And so this global perspective, this global impact that you are here to make. All right, last toes for these flash readings. So I love these toes. These are such unique toes. Definitely an expressor, like just these very, very long toes generally, and especially these second toes. So it is so vital that you are out and expressing yourself more than any other of the other toes that we've read in this series of flash readings. You must express, and you must express in alignment. And this needs to be like an expression across the way, in the way that you dress, in any online assets that you have for your business, in any of the interactions that you have, in the way that you speak. It is vital that you express yourself. Being an artist of some kind, it would be an additional way for you to express. So very, very important. Now, when we look at the difference between this toe and this toe, we can see that there is some differences. This toe, like the toenail, and this, even the length of this toe, is is a little bit more aligned than with this toe. So this is the way that you're communicating is showing up out in the world. This is what's happening internally. So I really invite you to pay attention. I know you have done a lot of work on yourself. And it's beautiful. You've just got such a beautiful energy. I love to hang around with you. Just listen to what you're saying to yourself. Really dig down into the deep fibers of the tapestry of your self-communication. And this is way beyond, just being aware of the mind chatter that happens, but what's underneath that mind chatter that's happening. And as you rub this toe, you're going to have some things come into your mind and into your heart that you can then just release out. And so doing that, releasing on that. At a halfway point in your life, you can see it more on this toe than on this toe, but there was something, you can see it here as well. There was something that happened that you can release that energy on that. It may just need to be seen, but at a halfway point in your life, you had some kind of trauma to the way that you self-express. And it could be, trauma with a big T or trauma with a little t, but some kind of trauma. So just by rubbing these toes a little bit, you're going to be able to release that energy around your self-expression. You are also such an action taker, especially when it's action out in the world. So whether that's traveling and learning something or leading a group or teaching a class, like definitely action taking is a big part of who you are. And then making sure that you're taking action for yourself and honoring yourself and keeping your own self commitments. That's not a huge message like the communication toe is here, but just when you see the layout of the toes, you can see that this toe is just a little bit shorter, and there's just a little bit more blocked energy in this action for yourself. And now let's just talk about these big toes, your life path and your spirit path toe. I would just invite you to consider if there's any areas of your life that you're doing any kind of people pleasing, and just explore that. And then we're going to open up this path of leadership and this path of intuition by gently stroking up the side of your foot here, right across that protrusion, and then up here at the same time. So you're pushing in here and pushing out here. And when I say push, we're just gently moving it so that we're inviting the energy to track more straight, and the same on this toe. And as you do this, you're going to see leadership in the way that you show up and in opportunities open up for you. And I know you already have so many gifts of intuition, and imagine when that is tracking more straight. You can see that any people-pleasing activities or behaviors that you have, it really mostly has to do with the way that you are outside of your with the external world. And those are things that can be released, and that might not even be current. That could be old stuff. In fact, I'm getting the feeling that some of that is old and generational things and has to do with this halfway point in your life. So just consider those things, rub the toes to move that energy, and also asking the toes to share with you the messages that they have to share with you.